Good morning, everyone. I am Miss Lovely Grace Sahonia, and this morning we will be talking about the Republic Act number 8190, or also known as the Localization Law. Okay, so this morning we will have these objectives. We will identify the IRRs in Republic Act number 8190. We will check or evaluate if RA 8190 is applied in our division and realize the importance of RA 8190 in our profession as teachers. So, Republic Act 8190 has the title An Act Granting Priority to Residents of the Barangay, Municipality, or City where the school is located in the appointment or assignment of classroom public school teachers. So, this is, in general, this Republic Act or law is applicable to all public school teachers, especially those who are still applying for the Teacher 1 position. Right. So, Republic Act number 8190 has amended implementing rules and regulations. So, we will start now with So before proceeding to the sections of this RA, I will show you this DepEd Order number 3 series of 2013. So this has been signed by our former Education Secretary, Brother Armin A. Luistro. And focusing on number 2, we have here, pursuant to Section 9 of this IRR, this order shall take effect 15 days after its publication in the official gazette or in at least one newspaper of general circulation. As such, the IRR took effect on January 12, 2013, since it was published on December 28, 2012, in the Philippine Daily Inquirer. So this Republic Act number 8190 was published on December 28, 2012, but it took effect on January 12, 2013, because this is stated in Section 9 that this order shall take effect 15 days after its publication to at least one newspaper or in the official gazette. So I was trying to find the published article of RA 8190 in the Philippine Daily Inquirer, but unfortunately the link that I found can't be opened anymore. So I just tried to find other articles that are related to RA 8190, and gladly I found one which was published on November 14, 2012, with the headline DepEd wants to tap technical professionals to teach science math. So this was published before the RA 8190 was approved. So this article talked about the K-12 program, in which the Education Secretary, Brother Armin Luistro, formed a 9-man technical working group to draft amendments to implementing rules and regulations of Republic Act 8190, or the so-called localization law. So let's proceed to the sections of this RA 8190. So let's have first section 1, which is the definition of terms. So we will first tackle about this to understand more the important words that are in this law. So we have first teacher. So teacher refers to a person who meets the minimum requirements for the position as required by law and the standards set by the department who does actual teaching in classrooms and other learning centers. So I think this word, the first word, is very understandable because we are all teachers. I think we are all teachers, or most of us are teachers here. Next word is applicant. It refers to a person who holds a valid certificate of registration or professional license as a teacher from the Professional Regulation Commission or PRC, seeking to be appointed to a Teacher 1 position. Alright, so applicants refers to a person who holds a valid certificate or PRC license. So if you are a graduate of an education course and you want to become a teacher, then the first thing you need to do is to pass the licensure examination for teachers to be able to get the PRC license, because this is the basic requirement for your application to a Teacher 1 position. Next is qualified applicant. Refers to a person who meets the evaluation and selection criteria as prescribed by the Department of Education and who is in the registry of the school's division and is a bona fide resident. Okay, so there is a difference between the word applicant and this qualified applicant, because when we say applicant, if you are an applicant, you have the basic requirements like the PRC license, but when you say qualified applicant, you already met the evaluation and the standard prescribed by the DepEd for you to be in the RQA or Registry of Qualified Applicants, in which one of the qualification is you need to be a bona fide resident of a particular barangay, city, or municipality. Next is bona fide resident. It refers to a qualified applicant who is prior to appointment resident for a period of at least 6 months of a particular barangay, municipality, city, or province where the school is located, as evidenced by legal documents to be identified by the department. Okay, bona fide resident. So, if you are a qualified applicant already, meaning you met one of the qualification, which is to be a bona fide resident of the particular barangay where you want to be assigned as a Teacher 1. Okay, so to be a resident of that barangay, you need to be living in that residence for at least 6 months. Then the barangay captain will be able to give you the barangay clearance, which will be a proof that you are a resident of his or her barangay. So there is also a requirement for you to be in the RQA, you need to submit your voter's ID or your voter certification, because that is a strong evidence that you are a bona fide resident of that city or municipality. Next is secretary, refers to the Department of Education secretary. So our present DepEd secretary is Ma'am Leonor Briones. I included the photo of our former secretary, who is Brother Armin Luistro, because he was the one who approved this RA 8190. So he was part of the creation of this law. The next is regional director, refers to the Department of Education regional director. So this is our regional director. So he is Mr. Jimenez, Sir Celestiano Jimenez. Sorry for that. Next word is protest, refers to the administrative complaint filed by an aggrieved applicant or complainant regarding an appointment or assignment to a teacher one made by an appointing or assigning authority or respondent. Okay, so if you found any discrepancy regarding in the appointment of or to a teacher one made by an appointing authority, then you may file a protest or you may complain with due process, and we will discuss that later. Next is appointment, refers to the issuance of original appointment of teachers. So I included here a photo of the logo of Civil Service Commission, since CSC is the one who will issue your appointment if you will be appointed as a teacher one, or even if you will still be a substitute teacher, you need to have an original appointment from the CSC. The next word is assignment, refers to the posting of a teacher in a public school or other learning center. Registry, refers to the official list of qualified applicants in the school's division. That's what I mentioned earlier, the RQA, Registry of Qualified Applicants. So for you to be able to be part in the registry, then you need to meet at least 70 points to be included in the ranking or in the rank. Let's proceed to section 2, the coverage of RA 8190. These rules and regulations shall apply to appointment or assignment of teachers in all public schools and other learning centers under the Department of Education. So knowing this law will be a great help, especially for those who are still applying as a teacher one position in our Department of Education. So we need to know this for us to know what are our rights and what are the things that we need to do in able to get the teacher one position. Section 3, filling up of vacant positions. In the appointment or assignment of teachers to public schools and other learning centers with vacant teaching positions, priority shall be given to bona fide residents of the barangay, municipality, city, or province where the school is located, in no particular order. So we all know that we have a ranking system, and most of the divisions follow the ranking systems, like the applicant, the qualified applicant who is in the rank 1 will be given the priority if there is a vacant position. But stated in this section 3, especially in this part, in no particular order. So this means that when you are a bona fide resident of that particular barangay where you submitted your application, then you will be the priority of filling up the vacant position. But provided that the teacher possesses all the qualifications for the position as required by law and DepEd orders. Provided further that among the bona fide residents of the barangay, municipality, city, or province where the school or learning center is located, the most qualified shall be given priority. Okay, so for example, you are in the RQA already and you are not in the rank 1, 2, or 3. For example, you are in the 4th rank, but the vacant position is available in your barangay where you submitted your application, and you are the only resident of that barangay who submitted an application there, then you will be the one who will be hired, not the qualified applicant in the 1st rank, the 2nd rank, or the 3rd rank, but it's you, because you're the only one who is a bona fide resident of that barangay. But of course, if you have a friend or a classmate, or there are other applicants in the barangay or municipality where the others submitted also their application, then they will follow the ranking system. So it is stated here, the most qualified shall be given priority. So if for example, so rank the person who is in the rank 1, silingan mo, or the same barangay na inyong gi-submitan sa inyong application, then you are in the 4th rank, then the person who is in the 1st rank will be given the priority. So if wala kay kauban, or ikaw ra kintahay ang taga diha ang lugar nga ningpasa sa imong application, then ikaw ang mahatagan of priority and not the others, because they are not a bona fide resident of the particular barangay where there is a vacant position. I hope that was clear. The next is section 4, recruitment and selection process. Upon approval of these rules and regulations, applicants who are interested in being appointed or assigned to public elementary or secondary schools and other learning centers located in the place where they are bona fide residents may send their written applications together with the necessary documents to the school head concerned, who shall verify and certify as to the correctness and authenticity of the documents submitted, including the proof of place of residence. So this is about the recruitment and selection process, wherein the bona fide residents may submit their application to the school head sa school nga kung asa ka gusto kung asa ka bona fide resident. For example, if Tagbilaran ka, then you are a bona fide resident in Buoy, then you will be submitting your application sa public school na located sa Buoy. So, you are not allowed to submit your application to another barangay unless if you have the proof of place of residence. Then you will submit your application to the school head. Then the school head will verify and certify with accordance to the authenticity of your document. The school head in turn shall forward the applications to the office of the school's division superintendent. The division office shall maintain a registry which shall be valid for a period of 1 school year. The superintendent shall appoint or assign a teacher. The Secretary of Education shall issue guidelines on the hiring of teachers that shall be consistent with RA 8190 and these implementing rules and regulations. Okay, so after the school had verified and certified your application, then it will there is a schedule for him or her to forward the applications to the office of the school's division superintendent. So usually the submission of the applications will during the month of January, and the deadline for filing the documents will be February. Then after February, like March until May, it is the time that there will be a schedule for teaching demonstration, English proficiency test, skills demonstration, interview, and others to complete the recruitment and selection process. So, Section 5, Protest Procedures for Violations of RA 8190. Aggrieved applicants in the registry of the school's division may file a protest. The protest, which shall be subscribed and sworn to in the form of a letter complaint in 3 copies, shall be filed at the regional office within 90 days from the issuance of the appointment. Okay, so if you, as I said earlier, if you found any discrepancies with regards to the appointing of a teacher 1 position to a certain person, then you may file a protest. But this has a due process that we need to follow. So this is the first one. You need to submit a letter complaint in 3 copies, and it will be filed at the regional office. Okay, so regional office na siya. That can be filed within 90 days from the issuance of the appointment, or let's say more or less 3 months. So if malapas na og 3 months, then ay pa kaning complaint, then I think that will not be considered anymore, because it is in the law, it is in the section 5 that you need to file it at the regional office within 90 days from the issuance of the appointment. Then the regional director shall, within 72 hours upon receipt of the protest, require the school's division superintendent to answer the allegations in the protest within 15 days, furnishing the protestant a copy thereof. So after you filed your complaint at the regional there at the regional director, then he or she will require the SDS to answer the allegations, and they will talk about it within 15 days. So the regional director's decision may be appealed to the DepEd secretary within 15 days upon receipt thereof. Any appeal on the decision of the secretary shall be filed with the Civil Service Commission. Okay, so after the schools division superintendent answers all the allegations about your protest or complaint, then it is the regional director's decision na mas mulabaw. So he or she has the decision to appeal the complaint to the DepEd secretary. Then after the secretary decides, then the appeal will be filed in the Civil Service Commission. So so there is really a due process about your protest. So maybe that is why there are people who will not proceed with their protest anymore legally, because of the long process. It will take time, it will take effort, and maybe money, because you need to submit it to the region and not only in your division. So but if the discrepancy really affects you and to all the applicants or teachers or to the whole division, then I think the best thing to do is really to file a complaint legally. Then of course you need if you need some help, then you can find anyone who can help you to make your complaint successful and make sure that it will really follow the proper process. So let's go to section 6, the sanctions. Any person found guilty of violating any of the provisions of RA 8190 and its implementing rules and regulations or any part hereof shall be charged administratively pursuant to RA 6713. Administrative sanctions for any willful violations of RA 8190 and its implementing rules and regulations shall be imposed as follows. So we have here first, second, and third violation. So if anyone, so it says there any person, so it can be a teacher, it can be the qualified applicant yet, it can be the SDS, or any person who will be found guilty violating this law shall be charged. And these are the violations that they need to face. Section 7, Separability Clause. Should any provision of this IRR be subsequently declared invalid or unconstitutional, the same shall not affect the validity and effectivity of the other provisions. So what does this mean, the separability clause? This means that any section stated in this IRR or any provision that is invalid or will be declared unconstitutional of the Supreme Court, it will be omitted. It will be deleted from this law or from this act. But the act itself, the law itself, shall remain, effective with the other provisions. Only that particular provision that will be declared invalid will be omitted, but the others, the rest, will stay as it is, and the law itself will still be effective because of the other provisions. Section 8. Repealing clause. Rules, regulations, and issuances which are inconsistent with these rules are hereby repealed, rescinded, or amended accordingly. Right. So, this RA 8190 was already amended because it was first created in the year 1996, but it was amended, then it was approved in the year 2012 already. So there are sections in this law that were corrected because probably they were inconsistent with the other rules, so that needs to be amended. Then section 9, effectivity. These rules and regulations shall take effect 15 days after its publication in the official gazette or in at least one newspaper of general circulation. So this is what we first discussed a while ago with the DepEd order. So any law that will be published to any newspaper or in the official gazette after 15 days, that will take effect. So that is all about the Republic Act 8190. I hope you understand, and we will discuss that more on our discussion in our group. So before I end my report, let me share this verse from the book of Isaiah, chapter 20, verse 22. When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. So this is my message for all the teachers who are currently applying for teacher 1 position or to other positions like teacher 2, teacher 3, master teacher, or any position that you wanted to be in. So I believe that the Lord will grant the desires of your heart when it is the right time. So we will just wait patiently, and while waiting, let us do the things that will glorify God, so He will answer our prayers and will make our dreams, our goals happen. So thank you for listening to my report, and God bless.